Live from Golden, Colorado on a beautiful July evening. This is the WFA, the Women's Football Alliance Division III National Championship game between the Orlando Anarchy, 7-1, and the Nevada Storm, 9-1. Orlando just kicked off. Nevada Storm will start this championship game off here at the Colorado School of Mines, beautiful Marv K Stadium. I'm Blake Olson, along with Mike Harity, producing and directing tonight. Damon Blick on camera one. We're glad that you joined us tonight, wherever you may be this evening, for Women's Football Alliance action here. And on first down, around the right side, Jesse Felker with the carry out of the single wing offense. 9-1 once again. Nevada Storm in their blue uniforms, gold numerals. Orlando, the Anarchy, in the black pants, black numerals, and green trim with the silver helmets. Second down now. They'll call it first down. Run around the right side, and the fumble created by the Anarchy. And right there to recover the fumble, Kelly Carmen. The strong guard for Nevada. So we're glad you joined us. We're getting all the kinks worked out here on WFA Pro Football.com and on 9 News, KUSA Live on Facebook. Third and 3 right now for Nevada. Around the left side, one of their best players with the carry out of that single wing offense, and a first down run for Jasmine Plummer, the first team All-American. 34 carries, 603 yards, 14 touchdowns on the season, and she is a great player to watch. Tonight is the Division III National Championship. Tomorrow at noon we'll have the Division II Championship, and then the All-American game, and then the Division I National Championship tomorrow night on ESPN 3. The Storm carry it again with Felker, who before tonight, 70 carries, 670 yards, 11 touchdowns. 1 touchdown pass, 9 receptions, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns. And a lot of these players, the majority of them, play both sides of the ball. And well-rounded athletes, and this is just going to be a fun night of championship football here tonight. Around the right side at the 50, at the 40, at the 35, 30, and all the way down, knocked down at about the 19-yard line, still in bounds, and a big-time run. Jasmine Plummer. And a beautiful play by the Storm. Their head coach, Chris Garza, in his third season. Also the defensive coordinator, his buddy, one of his great friends, Adam Barrett, is the offensive coordinator. He's the head coach at Coral Academy of Science in Reno. Started their football program, and in the offseason, he is the offensive coordinator here for the Nevada Storm. As both Garza and Barrett are in the huddle right now, just underway here at the Colorado School of Mines, Marv K Stadium, built about 5 years ago, and a great facility for the WFA tonight in the Division III National Championship. Blake Olson along with you this evening. You can follow me on Twitter at Blake Olson1. That's OLSON. Once again, Mike Harity and Damon Blick on the crew tonight, and we're so glad that you joined us. Crystal Holmes is the head coach in her first year for the Orlando Anarchy, 7-1 regular season, 9-1 overall against the 9-1 Storm. With the ball now on first down from the 19-yard line. Around the right side, another great runner to the 11-yard line. And a physical runner, Ashley Osborne, with the carry. 1 touchdown on offense this season, 1 touchdown reception. On defense, she has 30 tackles solo. Tough, hard-nosed runner. And if you love old school style football, you're going to see it tonight from the Nevada Storm. 2nd down and 2 right now. And the flag flies in the air and falls to the turf here at Marv K Stadium in Felker. False start. False start called on Jessica Rauch, the second-year starting center for Nevada. The challenge tonight for the Anarchy from Orlando is stopping the run, of course. And right now, Nevada, for the most part, having their way with 11:22 to go in the opening quarter. Here's the snap, left side. Nice run at the 4, inside the 5 to the 1-yard line. Felker takes that snap. Once again, inching toward that 700-yard mark. And tries to score her 12th touchdown of the season. The Anarchy able to stop her, but right now it's 1st and goal with under 11 minutes to play in the opening quarter, and Nevada knocking on the door. Here's the Storm. And a couple teammates say she's in there, and they do call it a touchdown for the Nevada Storm. Michelle Etjen, Mo Etjen, the quarterback / running back athlete, 5'10", athletic, 222 yards, 1 touchdown on the season. Scores the touchdown, and we have an Anarchy, I believe, defensive lineman at the goal line down. So it looks like Nevada on the scoreboard first. We don't see it on the scoreboard yet, and they put the 6 on there, and a touchdown for the Storm. The outstanding quarterback, Etjen. They call her Mo, officially Michelle, a lefty, very athletic. Drives hard into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game in the Division III WFA National Championship. I have not seen the number yet of the Anarchy star on her back, and they're going to help her up here. And that's good news. She will limp off and actually jog off. Some of the toughest football players out there. Michelle Anthony, 48 solo tackles this season, 1 sack. Back up and jogs off the field, and that's good news, despite the touchdown against her team. So Jessie Felker and Jasmine Plummer in the backfield. Plummer, she takes it, follows her blockers into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And Nevada leads it 8-0 right here on the WFA National Championship Division III. Well, an impressive drive by Nevada and the Storm. You can see that single wing offense that Chris Garza and Adam Barrett and their coaching staff, they've put together here. And Orlando knows they have their hands full here in Golden, Colorado in the Division III National Championship. Women's Football Alliance, and we're glad you joined us this evening. Right here on 9 News, KUSA, Facebook Live, and on WFA, ProFootball.com. Ashley Osborne set to kick it off. And her kick is low. And bobbled, now back at about the 18-yard line, and the return up to the 22-yard line. Missed tackle, and then Gabrielle Duran takes it up to the 26-yard line. And that's where Orlando will start their drive for the first time in this national championship game. What a gorgeous night in Golden, Colorado, just west of Denver, on the campus of the School of Mines, a Division II power, and this is the oldest football field west of the Mississippi, so a historic site for the Division III National Championship Women's Football Alliance. The quarterback is Candace Hunter. 118 of 197, 1,732 yards passing. And she looks to her left, then back to her right. Great coverage by Nevada and Sarah Colangelo. Colangelo is a 5'9", 170-pound athlete. Also plays fullback. She grew up as a ballet dancer, ran track. And Colangelo does a nice job there, a loss of about 5 yards. You're watching Orlando, the Anarchy, on offense right now on second down in the national championship game. Division III, wide open, has a receiver, and drops that one right in her hands. Brittany Koziara, check that, 26 carries, 379 yards, 6 touchdowns. She'd love to have that one back. Right in her mittens, and drops it. 12 touchdowns this season. Koziara. Boy, just didn't have her thumbs down on that one. 9:49 to go in the opening quarter. Hunter, her third throw over the middle. Receiver got behind the coverage, and that one could have been dangerous, but a little bit overthrown. Gabrielle Duran, 22 receptions, 450 yards, 7 touchdowns, with 15 TDs, total touchdowns. She was the intended receiver, and Candace Hunter will go back in punt formation. Quarterback spells her name Candace, but pronounces it Candace. Wanted to make sure that I knew that. And she is a talented player. 3 passes, had a receiver wide open. Could have taken it to the house, and Koziara will look at that one and kick herself. I'm sure she'll have another opportunity later in this national championship game. You are watching the WFA Women's Football Alliance, WFA ProFootball.com, and the Division III championship game, with Nevada leading 8-0. Let's take a 30-second break, and I'll be right back with more action. Hunter back. What looks like punt formation, but we'll see. She's going to throw it. And there she has a receiver wide open at the 50, at the 45, and down. Tackled at about the 43-yard line. First down for the Anarchy as Gabrielle Duran hauls this one in. So she was back a little bit further in her shotgun formation, so you have to respect that. Look for the punt, but connects. You could call it a fake punt, but they go for it. And a big-time strike for the Anarchy as they try to come back on Nevada in the Division III championship game. Women's Football Alliance here in Golden, Colorado. What a play. Hunter to Duran. Gabrielle Duran with the big catch. Hunter pitches it out left side. Nevada turns it in. Hit hard. Bounced out of bounds. And Jasmine Plummer, the All-American, knocks Brittany Koziara out at about the 43-yard line. So Plummer, great defense coming up in the pursuit. Nevada does a nice job turning that play in. And Koziara could not get outside, get the edge. They do have good speed, and Nevada knows that they will have to contain that speed outside, but also those passes downfield. Second down now. Hunter. That complete, and there's the pursuit once again. Koziara can't go anywhere and thrown to the ground. Krista Meeks just swings her to the ground, throws her to the ground. And a big-time defensive play by the tight end, also defensive end. Plays both sides of the ball, former D1 basketball player, originally from Oregon. 7:34 to play in the opening quarter. Hunter, right side, out in the flat. Nice little move, up ahead. Nice gain, but tough tackling by Nevada once again. Duran with the reception. And that defense from Nevada, impressive. And a nice tackle by Sarah Colangelo. Physical player, impressive player. Fourth down now. Once again, that deep shotgun formation. I doubt they're going to punt it. So when Orlando gets in this situation, and Candace Hunter told me, hey, she's the punter, but they really don't punt it. So it's fourth down, and they roll the dice, and they go for it. Timeout, Nevada and the Storm. We are so glad that you joined us tonight from beautiful Golden, Colorado. And you're watching the Division III National Championship on WFAProFootball.com. The Women's Football Alliance, and if you have never watched this, you will become addicted. It is so much fun to watch these ladies just get after it. They hit hard, they fly around, great athleticism, and a lot of these players, that's what these coaches will tell you. They enjoy coaching the women because a lot of them haven't even played football. Some of them have in high school, but very few. And they take their athleticism and their experience and put the uniforms on, and they do not cheat the game. It is a high quality level of football and fun to watch, as you will see tonight. Glad you joined us. Hunter back to pass and looks to her right and overthrown. Her intended receiver is Crystal Bell. Crystal Bell, 35 receptions this season, 635 yards, 11 touchdowns, 27 carries, nearly 300 yards as a running back with 4 TDs, but intended for her and incomplete on fourth down, and Nevada will take over. Bell with 16 total touchdowns this season once again. So Nevada with an 8-0 lead. Under 7 minutes to play at beautiful Marv K Stadium on the campus of the Colorado School of Mines. Nevada on first down, and the Storm looking to strike again. A single wing, and here's the handoff. Right side. Up ahead for about 3.5 yards is Shannon Peed, the running back wing. 8th year. Really instrumental part of the organization off the field in the creation and the organization and building this Nevada Storm football program in the Women's Football Alliance. Second down now. And 5 for the Storm. Felker back there, Plummer takes the snap and bowls over one Anarchy player and then tackled at about the 47-yard line. First down. Plummer, a great-looking running back, as you can see right there, breaks a tackle, keeps her legs driving, great balance, low center of gravity, shoulders square, and you can see just a talented football player. 5:44, first down for Nevada, and this snap is bobbled. And Osborne jumps on it. Ashley Osborne, a player that they lean on a lot. And she could not get the snap. So the direct snap will go to either Felker or Plummer or Mo Edgen. The majority of the time. And here's Felker, left side, cuts back to the right. Up to the 50-yard line, Felker cuts back, has room to run, and another first down run. They're gonna actually mark it shy of the first down marker, but what a run by Felker. Look at following her blocks, cuts back here, and then sees the lane, follows them beautifully. About a 2-yard shy, they mark it, of the first down. So 3rd and 2 for the Nevada Storm. Division III National Championship game here in Golden, Colorado. The Storm in their blue uniforms with the ball. Little spinner play out of the single wing. And Felker keeps it, but a false start.
False start. Offense.
On the Nevada Storm. Don't forget, we'll have the Division II game tomorrow and the All-American game following that at 3 o'clock, and then the Division I game on ESPN 3.
For the Storm.
Had a chance to talk to the Detroit head coach this afternoon, and they're fired up. Was in their team meeting today. They take on St. Louis, and you are going to see a great football game tomorrow also at noon in that Division II game. Under 4 minutes to play the opening quarter. Plummer, right side after the snap. Cuts upfield and gets the first down following her blocks. And you can see how physical this Nevada team is. Gorgeous shot from Damon Blick up top at Marv K Stadium. Great blocks right there. Felker was out there with the lead block, and Plummer follows her blocks well and just looks like a football player. One of the best places to watch a game, right here at Marv K Stadium. You're right on top of it, the way it should be. Right side, another big run for the Storm. And everyone getting their opportunity. Mo Edgen Edgen once again, lanky, athletic.
Pick up of 8, second down.
Picks up 8 yards.
For the Storm.
She can throw it too. Right now they are having their way on the ground. Nevada on second down. Here's the snap. Right side, grinding, driving her legs for another first down for the Nevada Storm in the Division III National Championship game. And Sarah Colangelo hears it from her teammates as the sun goes down and begins to set behind the foothills here in Golden, just west of the Coors plant in historic Golden, Colorado. First down, Nevada and the Storm. Left side, Felker. Oh, follows her, blocks beautifully at the 5, into the end zone, touchdown. Felker and the Storm strike again. What a gorgeous run. Young players, this is how you follow your blocks. Out of that single wing. Makes a little head fake right there, cuts outside to the left. And then into the end zone for the touchdown.
One on time down for the extra point for the Storm.
And Nevada leads it by 2 touchdowns, 14-0. And they'll go for 2. Rarely do they attempt a extra point kick. And inside, doesn't fool Orlando.
On the carry, 33. Leah Grant.
As Raya Grant, the blocking back with the carry, also an outside linebacker with 2 touchdowns on the season, can't get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. But the Nevada Storm going for a national championship tonight. Under head coach Chris Garza, they lead it 14-0 here on the WFA Women's Football Alliance Division III National Championship game. What a gorgeous night. I mean, this is a classic Colorado summer evening. Barely a breeze, slight breeze, and just a perfect night for women's football. You are watching WFA, ProFootball.com, and the Division III National Championship game. You can follow me on Twitter at Blake Olson 1, OLSON 1, the number 1. Storm kick it off. They get a little more height on this kickoff. Taking it about the 25-yard line, looking for a great return and trying to make up for a missed catch, and a big-time return for the Anarchy all the way to the 36-yard line. Is the young lady who had a wide-open opportunity to take one to the house, Brittany Koziara. And Koziara with a gorgeous return for the Anarchy, and boy, they needed that one. The Anarchy averaging 47 points a game, allowing just 13 points a game on defense. Need to get on the scoreboard here. High scoring team as Plummer on the field, injured now. The Nevada Storm star sitting up, but they will pull her up, and that's good news. She's walking over.
Ladies and gentlemen,
she'll have to leave the field for at least a play.
Right here,
don't like to see 22 on the ground ever
for the Mile High play. Blue
for any period of time after a play, but good to see she's okay. So the Anarchy under Crystal Holmes, the great head coach in her first year, trying to come back here. And after that kick return, Koziara Brittany. Candace Hunter looking to strike here. She can throw the ball and has some great receivers as well. And we'll see if they can get it going here with 1:48 to play in the first quarter. Hunter looks to her left, off to the flat. Duran outside, nice move. At about the 24, 25 yard line. Tackled and then out of bounds. Raya Grant.
Back out of bounds and the 25.
So the clock stops.
Setting up first down for Orlando.
First down now for the Anarchy. And just like that, Candace Hunter getting it going. Had a big strike on that 4th down play on that last possession, but they could not convert. About 4 plays later. So we're going to see what they can do here as the sun beats down on them here. As they look to the west and over the middle, complete. What a throw and catch by Duran.
Inside the 15, down to 12.
Plummer was there and Duran hauls it in. Steps up. What a strike. Nice coverage, but great concentration by Duran. He's had some big catches tonight here in the Division III National Championship game, Women's Football Alliance. 47 seconds to go in the first quarter. Hunter, this is so much fun to watch. These women do a great job, and the coaching staffs, unbelievable. Hunter up top toward the end zone and overthrown. Intended for Duran. Felker was out there on the coverage. But you can see there have been 2 occasions where the receivers have gotten behind the defensive backs, the safeties, and the corners. So Nevada will keep an eye on that and try to contain them and keep everything in front of them because those receivers are getting behind them. Hunter looks to her right, comes back to left. Here's the pressure by the Nevada Storm. And those big defensive line and the physical players from Nevada coming strong. Sonia Pita brought the pressure. And Krista Meeks is there, and now she's on the ground. But slowly gets back. Sitting up now is Meeks. Once again played Division I basketball. And encouraged to play football, and she's up and limping off, and looks like she's okay. Sonia Pita in on 48 tackles this season. She's from the Bay Area, no background in sports at all, if you can believe that. They're encouraging her to compete in lifting competitions. 10 seconds to go now. It's 3rd down. Hunter. And has her receiver out there and through the hands. A beautiful strike. What would have been Gabrielle Duran through her hands. Oh, she's not going to like to watch this one. What a beautiful look. Right in the breadbasket. Incomplete. What a throw by Hunter. And unfortunately, Duran could not make the catch. What would have been a touchdown. 2nd to go in the first quarter. 4th down now. Hunter looks to her right again. Throws underneath. And a missed tackle there. And into the end zone, stretching out. The Anarchy take advantage. Crystal Bell. Their first touchdown of the game. And you will see the missed tackle here. And she takes advantage. Great concentration. And then gets outside, good speed. And Sarah Colancho is not going to be happy about that one as well. Just couldn't wrap up and make the tackle. And that would have ended the drive. Here's Hunter, the extra point attempt. And off to the left. And no good. But Orlando comes back after that incredible return on the kickoff and then strikes with Bell. Ring the bell, Orlando on the board for the first time this evening in the Division III National Championship game in the Women's Football Alliance, right here on WFAProFootball.com. What a game. So much fun. Once again, both these teams can score points. Anarchy averaging about 47 points a game. And need to shut it down on defense as they will kick it away to Nevada. Nevada shut out 6 teams this season, only allowed 34 points on defense. They average 44 points a game, 300 yards rushing, over 300 yards rushing a game for head coach Chris Garza and his offensive coordinator, Adam Barrett, both Texas Tech guys. Adam Barrett from the Panhandle. And
kicking off, number 6, Candace Hunter.
Hunter kicks it off, and a nice kick. Take it at about the 18-yard line with Felker. Felker up to the 40-yard line, another missed tackle. Felker still on her feet at the 50, at the 45. And tackled at about the 44-yard line. First down. Nevada, the Storm, trying to up their lead. And if you just joined us, you are watching the WFA, the Women's Football Alliance. This is the Division III championship game. Tomorrow, the Division II championship game, followed by the All-American game. And then tomorrow night, the Division I World Women, check that. I'm sorry, the Women's Football Alliance Division I National Championship game on ESPN3. First and 10, 14-6. Nevada with the ball, they lead it. Out of the single wing, and here comes the pressure and getting through there. And a nice tackle. Michelle Anthony, who was injured earlier, comes back. Colangelo with the carry for Nevada. That fullback, who once again had rushed for 236 yards before tonight's national championship game. Both teams 9-1 overall. Here's a handoff after the snap, and a big time run right at the first down marker is Felker once again. Gets the handoff from Etjen, Mo Etjen, out of that single wing. Hands off to Felker. Felker follows her blocks in the hole, and that's a great piece of running right there. Felker impressive tonight. She's over that 700-yard mark on the season. Plummer right side, gets the edge. Inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. They'll mark her at the 25. And we have another Anarchy player on the ground. Rock Bethencourt, I believe, 25 solo tackles, 1 interception, is on the field right now. We're going to take 1 minute break here on the WFA Women's Football Alliance National Championship game, Division III, and come back in 1 minute for more action as we wait for Bethencourt, and they're tending to her, and hopefully she's okay. Her left knee is bent, and not sure if her helmet is still on. Okay, and they're checking out neck and her head area. We'll take 1 minute and be back with more action from the Division III National Championship game. So they help Bethencourt off the field. And they are flying around hitting each other tonight in the National Championship game, Division III. WFA, Women's Football Alliance. Thanks for watching. It's first down for Nevada, trying to up their lead. Here's the snap, right side, carry, pickup of 8, 9, 10 yards. Spun around, they try to strip the ball. But Mo Etjen running hard and will not allow Orlando to strip that football. And she keeps her legs chugging. And Orlando's going to have to get low and hit somebody and wrap up. Because Nevada, using their guards and tackles to just drive the Anarchy back here. You can see the guards pulling. Here's Plummer, left side, follows her, blocks up ahead, wrapped up inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Carrying the ball for the Storm, number
Plummer, another nice run. How impressive is this running attack from Nevada? Very impressive. Both these quarterbacks slash running backs, if you will, Felker and Etjen, they can throw the ball, but hey, if they don't have to, why throw it? Under 12 minutes to play now, 11:54 in the first half. Second quarter now. Right side. And to the 1-yard line.
Ashley Osborne inside the 5, down to about the 2.
Osborne tackled at the 2-yard line.
Second and goal for the Storm.
Second and goal for the Storm from Nevada. Plummer, Colangelo will be in the backfield of the single wing. Timeout. Orlando Anarchy.
Timeout.
Glad you joined us here on WFA Pro Football.com for the National Championship game, Division III. These teams have been fighting all season long and have earned the right to play in this championship game. The Anarchy and the Storm, if you just joined us. The Storm trying to up their lead to 20-6. It's second down and goal from the 2. Second quarter, 11:20 to go before halftime. And the Storm have used Felker and Etjen and Plummer, just to name a few, to get out to an impressive lead. But Orlando comes back impressively in that last possession. Second and goal now.
The Storm.
Colangelo, lead blocker here. Felker, left side into the end zone. Follows her, blocks, and cuts inside Plummer for another Storm touchdown. Nevada. 11:15 to go in the first half. It's 20-6.
On time down.
Nevada Storm on the campus of the Colorado School of Mines Marv K Stadium in Golden, Colorado, as the Storm will go for 2 again. Right side, Felker again. And tackled at about the calves and the ankles
11:15 remaining in the first half.
by Sydney Blahnik.
The Anarchy.
37 solo tackles and 1 sack, 1 interception, and Blahnik comes up a little banged up, but prevent the 2-point conversion. But Nevada, they lead it 20-6 with 11:15 to go here in Colorado. The Front Range, the foothills just west of Denver.
Need to receive for Orlando, number 33, Gabriel Duran.
Gabriel Duran, who's made some big plays, as has Koziara, back to return this kickoff.
Set to kick off for the Storm, number 80.
As Ashley Osborne ready to kick it away with 11:15 to go in the first half. Osborne kick it away after another impressive drive by Nevada. And the Storm looking good right now against the Anarchy. 9-1 from Orlando. Now they play up and play all those Division II Florida teams during the season. So the Anarchy, no stranger to quality football teams here in the WFA. Actually going for their second straight national championship, second in 3 years. Third year they made it to the championship game. And we got problems with the kick, but now running it to the right, up to the 37-yard line. And still on her feet after a hard hit, Koziara.
Number 20, Brittany Koziara.
Koziara with a nice return on that last kickoff. Tries to break free here, but Nevada having nothing of that.
38-yard line.
So from the 38 of Orlando, it'll be 1st and 10 with 11:06 to play in the first half. And we've had some great plays already. Orlando needs to strike again behind their quarterback, Candace Hunter, once again coming into tonight's championship game with over 1,700 yards passing, 30 touchdowns. Only 3 interceptions all season. See what Hunter can do with Koziara split out to the right. 4 receivers out to her left. Hunter looks to her left, and then in there to break it up and gets Hunter's wrist as she's trying to throw it away is Krista Meeks. And Meeks is healthy again. Man, she looks good in uniform. Looks like a dominating defensive lineman. Meeks gets in there and looks like a Division I basketball player, which she was. So a big play by Meeks. Hunter in the gun, looks to her left. She'll go over the middle. Double coverage, actually 3 DBs right there. And intended for Quinn Hicks. Another all-round athlete. And Hicks couldn't make the catch. That would have been a tough one. So Hunter on 3rd down, deep in her shotgun formation, about 8 yards there. Nice snap to the quarterback. Hunter breaks free, gets outside and right. There's a flag on the field. Hunter for the 1st down run. We'll see what the call is here. I don't know if it's a holding call or an encroachment.
50, but there is a flag at the 39.
We shall see with 10:47 to go in the first half. You're watching offside encroachment on Nevada. So Hunter takes advantage. Hunter does a great job breaking free there, making something out of nothing. The pressure coming from Nevada. And the 1st down. 2 receivers split out to the left. Hunter in the shotgun. One back to her left. Two receivers to the right. It's first down. Hunter looks to her right and then back to her left in the flat. Little short pass and trying to make a play and running over one of the defensive players. An impressive little play and catch. Trying to make something out of that one is Crystal Bell again. Picks up 4 yards. A lot of work to get 4 yards. Caught that in the flat and came around to the right. And Haley Seasock was there. And a collision there in the near sidelines here at Marv K Stadium. Second down and 6. Hunter. 3 receivers off to her left, 2 to her right. And that snap off to her right. Hunter's going to unload here and overthrown.
Hunter's pass incomplete. Third down.
Intended for Duran.
For Anarchy.
One of her go-tos. Got rid of it. Snap didn't work out. Bounced up. She was able to recover and then deliver that ball, but overthrows the defense and her intended receiver. Third down now. 9:32 to play in the first half. Hunter is the quarterback for the Anarchy. She's had some receivers who've gotten behind the DBs. We'll see what happens here. Hunter over the middle again. Nice coverage by Nevada. Intended for Hicks and Raya Grant. They're on the coverage. You'll see right over the middle, Grant. Good coverage there. That'd be a tough one to catch. Hunter went for it, incomplete. Under 10 minutes to go. Second quarter, Division III, WFA, the Women's Football Alliance. The championship game on WFAProFootball.com.
Flags before the snap.
And a false start on the Anarchy. And Nevada trying to create anarchy here.
Number 33. That's a 5-yard
at Marv K Stadium. It'll be fourth down. And they'll march it back 5 yards. 4th and 11.
Where it'll be fourth down and 11 for Orlando.
Hunter, the quarterback. If you were watching earlier, at times it looks like punt formation, deep, about 9 yards. And she'll look to pass and try to connect here and overthrown. Excellent coverage by Plummer, Nevada, and
defending on the play for the
also Grant. Grant and Plummer playing extremely well tonight.
Forward to Nevada Storm.
Well, we've had a great time this evening already, and we are just not even halfway through this championship game. See some excellent plays and athleticism and great running game from Nevada and some impressive catches and throws from the Orlando Anarchy, coached by Crystal Holmes. Head coach Chris Garza on the other side for Nevada. It's first down as Nevada takes over. There's a handoff again inside. Got lead blockers out front at the 45 to the 42-yard line. Another display from that single wing. The rushing, impressive display. Shannon P. Once again, one of the veterans on this team. So important to the organization. 1 touchdown reception this season here in 2019. 8:50 to play in the second quarter. 20-6. Nevada leads it. They have the ball. 2nd and 3. Right up the middle. And Felker
on the
won't
carry.
earn the first down. And wrapped up by the Anarchy and Constance Sobers. 6'1", 271 pounds, 21 solo tackles. Does an outstanding job up front, 2 sacks. The defensive lineman stepping up on that play. Important tackle. Right now, if Orlando wants to come back in this one. 3rd down now. Plummer, left side, trying to get the edge. Cuts back at the 40, at the 30 now. At the 20-yard line, it's Plummer. 10-5. Touchdown, Plummer.
Touchdown, score.
Kind of slows down.
41 yards on the
and
carry.
Queen Hicks couldn't get to her in time. And Plummer to the end zone again. For the Nevada Storm, look at that cutback right there. Look at the speed. Off to the races. Plummer. 6 more points on the board for the Storm. Division III National Championship Women's Football Alliance. And Nevada will go for 2 again. With Mo Edgen back. And there's the direct snap to, I believe,
extra point
that
is
was
no
Grant,
good.
I believe.
7:47 remaining in the first half. It's Nevada 26, Orlando.
Grant can't get into the end zone. So the 2-point conversion failed. But right now, Nevada leads it big, 26-6 with 7:47 to go here in the first half at Marv K Stadium on the campus of the Colorado School of Mines. You are watching the Women's Football Alliance Division III National Championship right here on WFA ProFootball.com. And we are glad you joined us for this one. 4 games this weekend here in Golden, Colorado. Blake Olson with you, along with Mike Harity, Damon Blick on Cam 1. Mike producing this evening once again. And we are thrilled to bring you this excitement and all this action tonight on WFA ProFootball.com. 7:47 to go. Duran back, along with Koziara, at about the 20-yard line. They're going to see if they can get a return out of this one. As Ashley Osborne set to kick it away. A little squibber at about the 42-yard line. And smart play
just cover the kickoff.
by Queen Hicks. Covers that one up.
Queen Hicks at the 44.
So that's where Orlando will start this drive at the 44-yard line.
1st and 10. Ball at the 44-yard line.
So they have thrown the ball a lot as they try to come back. They've thrown downfield and some short passes in the flat, trying to keep Nevada on their heels. But right now, Nevada keeping everything in front of them and doing a nice job on coverage and excellent tackling. So Orlando, they need to find a way here to rack up a few yards to keep this drive alive. And try to get in the end zone before the first half comes to an end. Still plenty of time, 7:42. And with this passing attack, the clock does not move quickly. And now under center, Hunter, I formation. We'll see if they run the ball, and they do. Pitch left side, getting the edge, and a nice little gain there, 4 yards
Running the ball
for Koziara. Koziara has some speed out there, you can see. She takes that pitch, has a blocker out there, but look at the pursuit from Nevada.
Second down.
In particular, Nisha Washington, starting outside tackle and also starting outside linebacker, pursuing. So they run the ball, and maybe this will keep Nevada honest here. Hunter in the shotgun. Nice little short pass, complete, hit hard. The holds onto the football, does not get the first down, I believe, but Duran, nice job, and takes quite a hit.
About 5, bringing up third down and a yard for Orlando.
Right there, wow. A hit right to the face mask. Physical out there tonight in this national championship game on 3rd and 1. Hunter, ball almost batted right in the hands and then out. Concentration an issue tonight.
The receiving end. 4th down.
Crystal Bell couldn't hold on to that one. Got to catch the ball first before you do anything in this national championship tonight. Hunter with 3 receivers off to the right, 2 to the left. 4th and 1 out in the flat. Have an opportunity, great move after the catch for the first down and the pickup of about 12 yards. Impressive play. Queen Hicks.
Down inside the 40 to the 30.
Hicks does a nice job here. Little bubble off to the left. Concentration, we talked about it a few seconds ago. Makes the catch first and then the move. Gets upfield for the first down. As the Anarchy working their passing game now. 6:22 to go in the second quarter. 1st and 10. Hunter. 3 receivers split out to the right. Hunter going deep as a receiver. Connection. Touchdown. Anarchy. Duran. Beautiful route. Beautiful throw. Excellent execution. Touchdown. Orlando as they try to come back here. And this is gorgeous. Gets rid of the ball just in time. And just a great ball. Duran does not have to slow down at all. Perfect throw. Perfect play by Crystal Holmes and her staff from the Orlando Anarchy. 9 and 1, trying to come back. Hunter will attempt the extra point. Duran, the holder, and snap directly back to Hunter. Hunter rolls to her left, gets that pressure, squares her shoulders. She's going to try to run it in and tries to bowl it in for the 2-point conversion, but is stopped by the Nevada Storm. Boy, that was fun.
Nevada 26. 12.
Great effort by both teams here. See the pressure. They're coming all night, and then just, that is a driving tackle and strength. Boy, I think it was, I believe that tackle was Osborne. I could not see the number there, but what a stop, 2-point conversion. And if it was Osborne, she's holding her ribs, I believe, and leaning over, and you can understand why. I'm almost certain that was Osborne. But what a play by Hunter to avoid the pressure, square her shoulders, look for the throw, look for the pass, and then tucks it in and just tries to bowl over Osborne. And Osborne, the wall. And just outstanding defensive play. And credit the Anarchy for striking and coming back here. Orlando trying to make a game of it here. 26-12, 6:03 to go in the first half from Marv K Stadium on the campus of the Colorado School of Mines in Golden, Colorado. Beautiful night as the sun is behind the foothills, behind the M for Mines, one of the great engineering schools in the world, right here. Here's the kickoff. 10-yard line, 11, 12-yard line. And Felker will take it. Gets upfield.
Felker on the return to the
hit hard at about the 30-yard line. Queen Hicks in on that one. Tough-nosed football out here in this national championship game. WFA, Women's Football Alliance Division III. Awesome place to watch a game. You are right on top of it in this 5-year-old stadium that they remodeled and improved about 5 years ago. Outstanding press box, upper deck, and then lower deck as well. Here's the run to the left side at the 30-yard line. Out to the 35, breaks a tackle, cuts back at the 50-yard line now, and a huge run from Plummer.
Carrying the ball for the Storm, 22, Jasmine Plummer.
Plummer to the 47-yard line. What a run. Man, she is just, her balance and just natural ability. It's a natural running back. So impressive. How about the hit from Sydney Blahnik? She's a tough-nosed player as well. Right side, thinking about it, cuts back to the left, and then to the 45-yard line is Felker. Speaking of good runners, couldn't find it, couldn't get the edge, cuts back to the left. Whoop. Yep, let me go back this way. And paid for it, despite the pickup of 2 yards. Under 5 minutes to go. Nevada trying to eat the clock here to end the second quarter and go into the locker room with a impressive lead. They'll try to strike again before halftime on second down. Mo Edgin, left side, picks up 4 yards.
Carrying the ball for the Storm, 12, Michelle Hutchin.
Edgin once again is 5'10". She looks like she's 6'1" or 6'2". And once again, we talked about it, watching her throw the ball. Impressive passer, but you won't see that a lot tonight. They're going for the national championship, and they are going to run this football and grind it out in the single wing. 3rd and 5. Plummer, left side, taking her time, cuts back to the right, inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Plummer, the All-American. Man, I love watching her run.
Down for Nevada.
This is great stuff. Flow to the left, takes her time. Look at that little move right there, and then cuts back to the right, and then keeps her legs chugging. And up ahead to the 20-yard line is Plummer. Edgin in the backfield with Felker. Felker, right side, bounces out at the 11-yard line. What a move! And into the end zone. Touchdown! And just faked out Queen Hicks. That's tough for Hicks. This is just a great move. Felker gets Hicks, and she bites after she bounces out right here. Look at this move. It gets outside. Speed, touchdown, Storm, Nevada. 3:05 to go in the first half. 32-12. The Storm rolled into town, and they're taking names right now. Edgin. Felker in motion. Felker right side. Tries to cut back to the left. And into the end zone for the two-point conversion. Felker helps Nevada up their lead to 34-12 in the Women's Football Alliance National Championship Game Division 3 here in Golden, Colorado on WFAProFootball.com. Saturday Night Football. If you've never seen the WFA before, we are glad that you are watching this tonight and enjoying it wherever you may be, and we are thrilled to bring it to you live. These young women are talented, tough, strong, gifted, and just flat out love the game. They find a way to make the trip to the national championship game on their own. A lot of them fly together. They knew they had to be here yesterday in Golden to compete in this national championship game. Ashley Osborne set to kick it away. Duran back along with Koziara. Short kick at about the 48-yard line, inside the 50 now. Nevada all over it. And we'll see if the Anarchy can score again. Try to cut this lead if possible before the first half comes to an end. Hicks with that return. Once again, Blake Olson with you. Mike Harity producing, and Damon Blick on the rooftop. And he has a gorgeous view tonight.
Ball spotted across the 50-yard line.
Beautiful.
At the 47.
One of the most scenic stadiums that you will ever find in the world. Right here. It's Candace Hunter. Takes a snap, looks to her right, delivers, and what a catch! And a big pickup, and first down. And a gorgeous strike to Duran.
Initial contact made by number 1, Jesse Felker.
Man, that is a gorgeous pass. Now, if Hunter can sit back there and deliver like that in the hole and finds little space, and Gabrielle Duran can make catches like that, who knows, the Anarchy may have a shot to come back here. That's tough to stop, but that was great pass, great velocity. She lofts this one up and has Duran again right there and overthrows her. The pressure came from the defense from Nevada, and they did a really nice job causing some problems. Great job by Damon Blick here. See the formation, and then the pressure lofts it up there, and just a little too much. And once again, receiver open. And if you're playing comeback, it helps to be a passing team like the Anarchy, obviously. Hunter looks to her left, has a receiver open, and threw it off to her left, a little behind the intended receiver, Hicks. That one just had too much under it. And Hicks tried to adjust. You will see right here, tries to keep her balance, and she knows she's wide open. Just throws it a little bit off to the left and a little too high for Hicks to readjust. Well, you could see it. I mean, there are receivers open out there now. And if they strike a couple times, Nevada doesn't want to see that the rest of the game. Hunter, little pump fake over the middle. What a move after the catch. First down.
Hunter's pass complete.
Duran again.
To Durant.
Gabrielle, what a move. Nice job by Mike Harity on the replay. Look at that shot right there. Great grab and a nice move after the catch. Neither team slowing down here, playing 100%. 4 quarters of football, 1:51 to go in the first half. And Candace Hunter going to work. Looks to her right, off to her left, dumps it off. Trying to break the tackle, and does at about the 25-yard line, but just not enough speed. There's a flag there. I don't know. There was a face mask involved there. But Treva Mason, with 4 receptions and 24 yards on the season, takes that one and stiff arms. I believe it was Colangelo. Boy, the light looks great here, Mike. Mike, doesn't it? The lights, the stadium, excellent. And the angle.
Referees pick up the flag.
Yeah, gorgeous night. The weather is just perfect. Second down and 11. So second down and 11 now. Hunter looking to strike again with 4 receivers. Off to the right, 1 to the left. And you know what's coming here. Hunter going deep over the middle. Has a receiver. Touchdown! Anarchy! And Duran spikes it
24 yards on the
into the field turf.
33.
Gabrielle Duran again. Boy, I love this one because Hunter just lobs this one over, and she knows Gabrielle's coming over, and she's going to get there, and just drops it right there in the end zone for the touchdown. And boy, did the Anarchy need that one right now. With 1:26 to go in the first half, 34-18. They'll attempt the extra point here with Hunter, who just threw the touchdown. They'll snap it back to her directly. She'll roll, gets pressured, breaks the tackle at the 6-yard line, lets it go, finds a receiver, and the same receiver she just found for the touchdown. And the 2-point conversion is good, although there is a flag in the end zone.
There is a flag in the end zone.
Duran receives that one.
Ineligible player of the offense, downfield, 5-yard penalty, retry.
So an ineligible player downfield, they'll have to retry it here. Well, this is kind of interesting because Hunter is starting to warm up here, and her receivers obviously are gaining confidence. And Nevada knows that in the second half, they need to take as much time off the clock as possible, control the line of scrimmage and the ball, run the football, continue to run the football, because you don't want this quarterback with these receivers starting to feel good about themselves. And that's what's happening right now, despite the penalty on this 2-point conversion. Hunter, and up in the air, blocked. Getting the paws up. And getting the pigskin, Krista Meeks, the DN. That's a Division I basketball player right there. Get your hands up. Look at the vertical. and brings up pressure. That's a big play once again by Meeks, and she has had a few of those tonight. 1:26 to go in the first half. WFA Women's Football Alliance National Championship Game Division III. I'll come back in 1 minute as the action continues.
We appreciate all you do for women's football.
So the 6th-ranked team in the women's league is 7 points, but the 4th-ranked team is 2 points. They have a Midwest region, the Pacific region, and they have Division 1 to 12.
Hey, this is a fun one. No give in Orlando. The Anarchy trying to come back here, and they are coming back. 34-18, they will kick off after Candace Hunter and Duran are hooking up and putting points on the board for Orlando. Jesse Felker, a return up to the 39-yard line. Thanks for joining us. The Women's Football Alliance Division III National Championship game between the Orlando Anarchy, 9-1 overall, and the Nevada Storm, also 9-1. After the penalty on the kickoff, 5 yards, and Orlando will try to prevent Nevada from breaking one free here for another touchdown. They will need to tackle well. Plummer, Etjen, Felker, Colangelo.
4-yard line, first and 10.
Tell you what, Orlando starting to figure some things out. If they could prevent Nevada from scoring here, they can go into the locker room at halftime and maybe figure out a few things and make this a game. They have done that in the past 15 minutes. Plummer, left side, big gain again. Pickup of 9 yards. Stretches the field and then gets upfield and tackled 1 yard shy of the first down. 1 minute to play. First half. National Championship Division III. Division II tomorrow at 12 noon. If you're in the metro area of Denver or anywhere in Colorado, we'd love to see you. If you've never been to the Colorado School of Mines Marv K Stadium, a great place to watch a game and outstanding, just great entertainment for the entire family tomorrow, beginning at 12 noon. Division II game, then the All-American game, and Jesse Felker is pulled down.
On the carry, loss of 2.
Michelle Anthony, excellent work. Working hard up front, getting in the backfield to drag down the Storm. One of the stars from Nevada. Timeout, Nevada. Their final timeout of this half, 31 seconds to play.
Once again, coming up at halftime.
And a good game here.
Will be performing. And you can make your run
16-point lead for Nevada. But once again, Candace Hunter and the Anarchy, confidence building. There's some rhythm on offense. Now they need to figure it out on defense. They need to stop. And we'll see if they can do that in the second half. Here in Golden. Once again, the head coach, Chris Garza from Nevada, the Storm, 3rd season. He's also the defensive coordinator. Crystal Holmes is the head coach from Orlando. Once again, they've been playing up all season long, and they have to. And they play Tampa Bay and Jacksonville and the other teams in their region. 31 seconds to play, third down. Nevada. Plummer makes a little move to the right, comes back to the left, and what a defensive play from Orlando and the Anarchy and Treva Mason.
Down for a loss by number 40.
Treva comes in there. Storming in there on Nevada and creating anarchy for Plummer on that play. And that will do it. The buzzer has sounded, and it's halftime here at Colorado School of Mines in Golden, Colorado. The Division III National Championship Women's Football Alliance, and Nevada leads it 34-18 over Orlando. And we will come back for the third quarter with all the action. It should be a fun and entertaining, thrilling second half coming up here in Colorado for this championship game in 19 minutes and 56 seconds. Stay tuned and come back for more right here on WFA ProFootball.com. Welcome back to beautiful Golden, Colorado, and the WFA Division III National Championship game between the Orlando Anarchy, 9-1 overall, and the Nevada Storm, also 9-1. Nevada with the 34-18 lead as we get set to start the second half here at Marv K Stadium on the campus of the Colorado School of Mines. And we have seen a very interesting game up to this point. Nevada with their rushing attack dominated early on, and Orlando hung in there, came back, kept it tight. Nevada scores again, but then Orlando late in the first half able to come back and score with their passing attack. And right now Nevada kicking off to Orlando. And this one bounces over the head of the Anarchy, and they jump on it and recover Brittany Koziara. So Koziara and the Anarchy will try to march down the field using their passing attack with Candace Hunter and try to come back in this game down 34-18. Hunter was throwing the ball extremely well. Last we left her in the second quarter and finding her receivers, in particular Gabrielle Duran. And right now, they'll try to strike first here in the second half as they try to cut the lead against the Nevada Storm. A heavy running attack and strong defense, great pursuit. And Hunter with 4 receivers split out to the left, 1 to the right. On first down as we start the second half of the national championship game, Division III. This one lobbed over the middle, and Anarchy, they want a penalty interference, but Michelle Anthony is not going to get it. Incomplete, overthrown. Now the scoreboard says 1st and 10, and now the marker changed to 2nd and 10. With Hunter and 2 receivers off to the right and 3 to the left. Looks to her right, bumps, comes back, pressured. She'll get rid of it and gets out of the pocket and incomplete. And great job by the defense from Nevada, bringing the pressure and bringing the heat on Candace Hunter. 118 of 197. Over 1,700 yards before tonight's championship game, 30 touchdowns. Now on third down, big play for Hunter and Orlando. Hunter comes back to her left, still in the pocket, flags all over the place. More than likely a holding call, you would think.
2 flags on the play.
We'll find out shortly. So lacking rhythm in this passing game right now. A hold called on the Anarchy from Orlando. And the call penalty is declined. It will be 4th down. Once again, Orlando rarely punts the ball, so Hunter will be back there. I don't know if she'll try to get a punt off here, but it's 4th and 10. She may find one of her receivers to keep this drive alive with 14:40 to go, and there it is. Punts it away. We saw her 2 times in desperate situations. Completes of passes to keep the drives alive. That time punts it away, and a nice job. It'll be 1st and 10 Nevada and the Storm with that awesome running game. Jumped out to a 14-0 lead to start the game on the ground. One of their great players, Plummer, is a dynamic back. I mean, I think it'd be hard to find a back as good as her, if not better, in the country, in this league, around the world. Of course, she is as good as they get. This is Division III, but this team has played up as well from Nevada. Here's the snap, and up ahead, pickup of 3 yards. Felker, right side.
Number 58, Constance Sobers.
And this is what Nevada wants to see at this point. Picking up 3 or 4 yards, and the clock continues to tick, and the drives stay alive. Plummer off to Etchin's left. Hand off to Plummer. Plummer up ahead, 1st down. What a run. And they say a fumble, and Orlando has stripped the ball, and they come up with it.
Fumble on the play, recovered by Anarchy.
The Anarchy, Sydney Blahnik,
10 for Orlando.
comes up with it.
Territory.
Huge turnover, huge defensive strip. Blahnik, we'll see if that turns out to be one of the big plays of the game as the Anarchy try to come back. Stripping Plummer of the ball and then taking over at the 38-yard line. So here we go, the aerial attack of Hunter. She looks to her left, comes back to her right where she had 3 receivers, has a receiver open and complete inside the 15 to the 12-yard line.
Inside the 15.
Duran again. What a beautiful strike. Nice route. And once again, getting behind the coverage. Excellent ball there. And the strike to Duran. 13-15 to play in the 3rd quarter. National championship game, Division III. WFA, the Women's Football Alliance. Orlando with the ball now, trying to come back. Little draw, maybe their 3rd run of the game inside the 5, and a great call
Number 96, Crystal Bell.
by the Anarchy, Crystal Bell.
It'll be 2nd down.
Scored earlier
Yardage for Anarchy.
with the run, and a big one it is. And one of the Anarchy players on the ground, I believe it's Michelle Anthony, but
Timeout for injury.
I'll have to check again. Could be Bell. Bell with that carry. She is leaning up. They're checking out her left ankle. And that would be unfortunate because that was a great run by Bell inside the 5. We'll see if we can go in on Bell on this injury here and see if they're looking at her left ankle or calf. It is her left or right calf. Check that. Well, that was a big run after the turnover, and thankfully she is up and she's going to jog off. That's great to see. Great job, Mike Harity, Damon Blick. I'm Blake Olson. You can follow me on Twitter at Blake Olson1, O-L-S-O-N. Bell. Looks like she's okay, so here we go. 2nd and 2 from the 4. Hunter looks to her right quickly, comes back to her left, and she is sacked at about the 10-yard line.
Quarterback, keeper, tackle,
And the pressure comes from the Nevada Storm. And Carrie Mackey, defensive tackle, also plays strong tackle. She played catcher at the University of Nevada, Reno. Great athlete, 7th season with the Storm. And one of the strongest on the team, if not the strongest. But a huge sack by the Storm. And Mackey, one of the spokesmen for this team, great young lady. So dump off the left side, and the Storm all over it. Not a chance for Orlando there. The pursuit is there from Nevada. Nisha Washington there again, so that brings up 4th down. .11:07 to play in the 3rd quarter. Candace Hunter trying to strike here, at least get the 1st down. It's 4th and maybe 8. But she has delivered on some big strikes tonight. But they really need something here to keep this drive alive and in scoring position. 10:51 on the clock. 3rd quarter. 4th down. Orlando against Nevada. Division III National Championship. Women's Football Alliance. Hunter looks to her right. She's pressured. Up in the air and coming down with it in the end zone. Touchdown! Orlando! Anarchy! And Bell does it again. And Hunter. Wow, Bell adjusted between double coverage and somehow comes up with it. What an impressive catch And play by Bell. And the touchdown pass from Hunter. It's a 10-point game now. Hunter will take the snap. Trying to get 2 points out of this conversion, and it's not going to happen. Nevada, great defense. Coming up to tackle Gabrielle Duran. Wow. What a strike. They take advantage of that strip ball and recovery from Blahnik. Sydney Blahnik strips it, and then they march down the field. And here on 4th down, check this out. Hunter is pressured. Let's go of it. And a little shallow. And Bell adjusts and makes that grab kind of off balance in the end zone. What a play. Here with 10:39 to play in the third quarter in the Women's Football Alliance Division III championship game at Marv K Stadium on the campus of the Colorado School of Mines. Man, this has been a lot of fun. And Bell, remember, with that big run to set up that touchdown, ran it down to the 4-yard line, and then with the big catch. And this just keeps on getting better and better. Down by 10. Orlando trying to come back. Hunter with a high kick. They'll return it at the 20-yard line, and it's Felker. Felker at the 40 to the 42-yard line. And Brittany Koziara comes in to make the tackle.
So we have timeout for injury.
Kenesha Williams is down. Hopefully Williams is okay. They'll check her out. Wow, what a series of events. It all started with that strip ball on the star. Plummer. The ball was stripped, recovered, and Orlando takes advantage of it. Remember Sydney Blahnik. If they are able to come back and take the lead, Blahnik's defensive play, stripping Plummer and recovering the ball here in the third quarter, could be one of the biggest plays of the game. But Orlando still has a lot of work to do. We know how good this Nevada team is in the running game. So thankfully, Williams up and jogging off the sideline to the sideline here in Golden, Colorado.
Play resumes. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Storm.
Felker
The ball at the 42.
at quarterback. Correction. Handoff. That was not Felker, that was Etjen.
Number 18.
And Colangelo with the carry. And an impressive carry it was. Pick up of about 6 yards.
That's spotted at the 49. Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
6-yard gain. 10-11 to play in the third quarter. Women's Football Alliance Division III championship game. Etjen, the quarterback. Felker back into her left. Etjen, handoff Felker. Felker right side. And tough defense from Orlando.
Here on the carry. Length to midfield. Gain of a yard. It's going to be 3rd down
Anthony comes up.
for Nevada.
And Soho as well. Soho with an important defensive play. Brings up 3rd down and 2 yards for Nevada in the Storm. Plummer in the backfield along with Felker. Tight line. Felker, left side, follows her, blocks, cuts back to the right, up to the 40-yard line. First down, Nevada in the Storm. Beautiful run by Jesse Felker. But her follower blocks right there, cuts back to the right, gets the first down and more, and keeps the drive alive. We have another injury. And Sydney Blahnik will jog off the field after the trainer checks on her. 1st and 10, under 9 minutes to play in this national championship game in women's football action, the WFA. Nevada, the Storm, their single wing. Plummer bounces out to the right side. Missed tackle right there and thrown to the ground, but she picks up about 3 yards.
On the carry, number 22,
And she bounces out there like a pinball. Gabrielle Duran tried to make a play. Couldn't wrap up. 15 tackles this season, 5 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, Duran, and 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, which is pretty amazing. And she is down on the ground right now. And she may be cramping up her left leg, possibly. Looks like that's what's happening. She's a fun player to watch, though. Really good speed and has made some huge catches tonight. How about that one in the end zone? Just dropped it in the second quarter. And Hunter just lobbed that thing up, and she came down with it. Duran, her speed, Hunter knew she'd be there right in the middle of the end zone, and with a huge touchdown grab in the first half. So very impressive. And she does it all. Yeah, and we have a look at it right here. It's Mike Harity, the master, producing once again. And this is just a fun play. Not a direct strike, lobs it up, and here she comes. Right there, drops it for Duran, and thankfully she's up, and she will jog off to the sideline. 8:21 to go. Thanks, Mike. Nevada Storm on 2nd down out of the single wing. Felker and Colangelo in the backfield with Grant, one of the lead blockers here. Felker, left side, Felker at the 20. Ball popped loose, another fumble. And the Anarchy come up with it. The second fumble. And recovery by the Orlando Anarchy this half. Boy, that is unfortunate for Felker. What a hit. Big time hit. Was that 91? 21. We've called her number a lot, Queen Hicks. Hicks comes up and pops the ball loose. Huge. Now we'll see if Orlando can take advantage of that turnover. Wow. Don't expect to see that from Jesse Felker. What a run. But the Queen Hicks hit. The Queen comes up and delivers. And the Anarchy recover. And they have the ball now with 8:08 to play in the third quarter. And their quarterback, Hunter, goes deep over the middle, has a receiver. And someone got a hand on her hand, and she was open. She got past that defense again on the little post. See her right here. Boy, it looked like, oh, maybe not. Boy, is right there. What a beautiful throw. It's going to be tough to get a better look than that. Oh, that one was, she was gone. 8:01 to go, third quarter. 10-point lead for Nevada. They're on defense right now. It's second down. This is Candace Hunter, the quarterback. Looks to her left and then over the middle, a little short pass. And a big pickup after the catch and a physical run, still on her feet. Michelle Anthony. I believe that was Anthony, and now she's down. Actually, Bell, I couldn't see if it was 96 or 86.
First down, ball at the 24.
Now she's on the sideline. That's a big pickup. First down, Orlando. Candace Hunter having some fun here in the second half. The aerial attack from the Anarchy, and short, almost intercepted. Plummer almost comes up and makes the INT.
Second and 10.
Second down, 10 for Orlando. Three receivers out to the right. Hunter has two to her left. Hunter lets it fly again, deep over the middle. The coverage is there. Plummer, interception. Watch out at the 40-yard line. At the 45, Plummer holds on to it this time. After the INT and a big defensive play by one of their stars, the first-team All-American, Jasmine Plummer, with the interception. At the safety position coming over. Just lobbed that ball up and just had to know that Plummer has the speed and the coverage ability, just too much there. Telegraphed that one. So Nevada stops Orlando after their turnover. Now the Storm will try to hold on to the football and try to drive down the field to up their lead. Right now they lead it 34-24. Here's the handoff left side. Patience. Waiting for the blocks and waiting for the play to develop is Shannon Peed. Once again the wing.
Second and 12 for Nevada.
And just as we talked about earlier in this game, just so important to the organization. Nevada and the Storm's development in the WFA. Second down now. Nice job by the Orlando Anarchy. Need to step up big time on defense here. With 6:30 to go in the third quarter. Plummer, right side has a hole. Plummer makes a move, spins inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Well, you see number 22. And you run like that, it reminds me of Emmett Smith. One of the greatest number 22s of all time. To the 20-yard line, Plummer. And that was a guy who always played hurt. Emmett Smith. First and 10. Felker, right side. Up to about the 17-yard line. Now this is where Orlando needs to dig down deep and try to find the most pride that they've had all season and find a way to prevent Nevada from finding the end zone here. They know they're going to run the ball. 99% chance of that. Edgin and Felker. Edgin picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
On the carry. Pick up inside the 15.
5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Second down.
Down to the 12-yard.
Orlando defense trying to find a way to stop Nevada. And the single wing. Old school power football. They'll pull the guards. And Plummer in the backfield. Felker's wrapped up.
Felker on the carry. Stop by number 96, Crystal Bell.
Crystal Bell in there,
That's enough yardage for Nevada. First down.
along with Paige Cox. 20 solo tackles. Big time play on defense for the Anarchy. So Plummer in the backfield for Nevada. She'll take the snap. Left side, wrapped up. Another big time stick. Cox.
Thrown to the ground by number 63, Paige Cox.
Paige Cox is fired up.
Back across the
A big hit here in the third quarter with 3:41 to play in the third. So that'll build your confidence here on second down against this deadly running attack led by Plummer. Felker to the left. Trying to get Orlando to jump off sides. Felker, right side, cuts back inside to the 3-yard line. Look at those lead blockers. Felker does such a nice job following her blocks and patience right there. Look at her follow the blocks. And then up ahead, leans forward, making it look easy. That is a big-time run. It may not be the most exciting run you've ever seen, but that is productive football right there. From the 4-yard line, it's 3rd and goal. Nevada and Plummer and Felker looking to punch it in. Felker, left side. Plummer makes a nice block, but Orlando is there to wrap up.
On the play.
And guess who? Bell.
96, Crystal Bell.
Bell again, all over the place. Big catches, big runs, big plays, and tackles on defense. Bell is the real deal. One of the best players in this WFA. Division III. 150 to go now. It's 4th down. From the 8-yard line. Felker. Etchin's going to throw it. Etchin into the end zone. Touchdown. Etchin throws it. 99% of the time they're going to run the football, but this time the lefty, the best passer on the team, rolls to the left and finds her teammate for the touchdown. Shannon Peed. Great job in the end zone for 6. Boy, they just pounded and pounded and pounded and run it down your throat. And then Mo Etjen rolls to the left and delivers. He'll go for 2 here. And it's Plummer right side. Plummer, will she get there? No, she doesn't. Knocked out of bounds. And great defensive play by Hicks. Queen coming through again. So it's 40-24 with 1:29 to go in the third quarter. We're coming back in 1 minute with more action of the national championship game, WFA. Wow, what a play by the Nevada Storm. And their quarterback, Mo Etjen, finding Shannon Peed. And Peed, the 8-year veteran, with the touchdown reception.
Set to kick off for the Storm, number 80.
And a huge touchdown here in the third quarter. Orlando continues to try to come back. A little squib kick here. Take it about the 24-yard line and cover it up.
24 for Anarchy, where they'll take over first and 10.
Koziara does her job, and now Candace Hunter will try to lead her team. Downfield, she needs a big striker too. They are quite capable of that. But time is starting to run out with 1:29 to go in the third quarter of this national championship game, Division III Women's Football Alliance. Thanks for watching the WFA ProFootball.com live coverage of this championship game. Tomorrow, the Division II and All-American games at 12 and 3 o'clock. And then tomorrow night, the Division I championship on ESPN3. Hunter, left side, little short pass complete. And they pick up about 4 yards. Duran Grant comes up and makes that play on defense. And her teammates love that. And you can understand why, but a pickup of 3. Hunter takes a snap over the middle, complete. That's a beautiful pass and a big strike for the first down to Duran. Very impressive throw and play. Hunter and Duran have been hooking up tonight. Right over the middle, found that little seam and space to complete that pass, gets rid of it just in time. 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. Candace Hunter trying to lead her team back here. Looks, has plenty of time, lobs one over as a receiver wide open. Koziara cannot make the catch. And this one is tough to watch. She was wide open and threw the breadbasket here. No! Nothing but pay dirt. The west end zone, staring at her from about 35 yards away. Hunter, right side, tough tough catch, makes the catch, and what a play after the catch. Up ahead at the 30-yard line, Bell inside the 20. Man, she could fly. She is strong, fast, and talented, and now is pulling up, I think, with cramps. What a play after the catch there. Cuts back, and that's what they do. I mean, they'll have a drop pass that could go for a touchdown and then come back a little short pass, and huge play after the catch. Keeps the drive alive. First down, they're back in business. That ends the third quarter of play. We're getting ready for the fourth quarter here at Marv K Stadium, the beautiful facility on the campus of the university. The School of Mines, Colorado School of Mines, for the World Women's Football Alliance, WFA Women's Football Alliance Division III National Championship game between the Orlando Anarchy, 9-1, and the Nevada Storm, also 9-1. Chris Garza hoping his team can hold on. The Nevada head coach. And Crystal Holmes hoping that her team can come back in dramatic fashion here in the final quarter in Golden, Colorado, in the Division III National Championship game. I'll tell you what, Candace Hunter, she's finding the receivers when she has to on this drive. And Koziara, oh my goodness, I feel so bad for her. That ball was right there, an easy 6 for her. And for whatever reason, couldn't make the catch, but that's okay. Crystal Bell made up for it. First down. Orlando, here's a draw right up the middle. A rare run by the Anarchy. Treva Mason. Mason with the carry. Just underway, fourth quarter. Can Orlando score 6 to make this a 10-point game again? It won't be easy against this defense, but there are some spectacular receivers and a quarterback named Candace Hunter who are trying to find the end zone again for the team from Central Florida. Left side almost picked off, and what a catch at about the 2-yard line. Boy, it looked like that thing was going to be picked off by Plummer, but Gabrielle Duran. This wasn't a touchdown grab. This may have been her best catch of the night. She literally prevented Plummer from picking that ball off, and then picked up the first down from the 2-yard line. First and goal. Plenty of time for Orlando. They've got to get into the end zone. Plummer squares his shoulders, then rolls left, tries to avoid the pressure from Nevada, and gets out of bounds eventually. Hunter. And she's a physical player, but you can see she has really good quickness. Nice feet, quickness, avoiding the pressure, getting out of bounds. Second down now. What an interesting game. At times, I'm sure this stadium, all the fans here were thinking, we have an injury. As I was talking about earlier, I'm sure a lot of the fans in this stadium thought that, well, Nevada's going to run away with it now. And then Orlando somehow comes back. Big strikes with their aerial attack. Huge plays after the catch. On 4 or 5 occasions, especially from Crystal Bell. And now, after that big catch at about the 2 or 3 yard line, Duran sets up the Anarchy and puts them in a great position to score here with 13-14 to play in the game. National championship game. Division III. Women's Football Alliance. The WFA. Thanks for tuning in. WFA profootball.com. You cannot ask for a more beautiful night than tonight here in Golden, Colorado, metro area, and that's a good sign. Krista Meeks is up. And she will limp off. Boy, these players, they get hit and they get up. And if they're not limping off, they're jogging off. Yeah, man, they do not want to come off the field. So impressive. She is holding the back of her knee, her right knee. We hope that she is okay. Second down and goal from the 4. Hunter, right side as a receiver, touchdown! Anarchy, wide open, Blonick. Beautiful play. Set the Storm up nicely here. You see Blonick, little spin move right there. That was a gorgeous route. She's made some big plays. Don't forget that strip ball. And then Orlando goes down and score after that turnover. Blonick. That was a nice little route. Jabs it, sticks it hard to the left, and then comes back, spins 360, and comes back to make that catch. This one incomplete. 2-point conversion. And it is a 10-point game. With 13 minutes to play in the National Championship Division III Women's Football Alliance here in Golden, Colorado, on the campus of the Colorado School of Mines. Marv K Stadium, Campbell Field. That's the site. And we have had the running attack of Nevada, the Storm, lead the way. But the aerial attack of the Anarchy from Orlando fighting hard to come back and see if they can pull it out here in the title game of this outstanding league, the WFA, Women's Football Alliance. 40-30, 13 minutes to play once again. Blake Olson along with Mike Harity, who's producing and directing tonight, and the great Damon Blick on Cam 1. You can follow me on Twitter at Blake Olson 1. Like to say happy anniversary to my lovely wife tonight, who's watching at home. Thank you for everything, Yvette. And she's a big fan of women's football. WFA. Here's a return from Plummer at the 40, 35, 50. Check that 40-yard line inside the 40 to the 37, 38-yard line. We'll see where they spot her. What a return from Plummer. One of the stars here tonight on this Friday night. A flag on the field.
Personal foul. Defense. Kicking team number 73. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
So a personal foul on Brianna Skelton,
15-yard penalty at the end of the run.
the defensive lineman 8 tackles this season. So that will give Nevada, the Storm, a really good opportunity here to punch it in again. This puts the Anarchy in a really difficult position against the single wing. Felker, left side. It'll be second down. And both teams, you can see they're wearing down right now. Physically just wiped out here, leaving it all on the field in this title game. And we have a player from each team being attended to here by the trainers, who have been extremely busy tonight here at Marv K Stadium. Looks like cramps, hopefully. That's the seriousness of that injury. And Shannon Peed will come off the field here. I think she pulled a cramp there. It's a hot day here in Colorado. Nothing like they feel in Orlando, of course, with the humidity and the heat. And Nevada, very similar in Reno to the climate here in Golden. So at times that can affect the players. And good to see both teams at least walking off, both players from each team. But that doesn't look good right there. It looks, well, that could be anything, shoulder or arm. I believe that's Blahnik. Hate to see that. So now second down for the Storm from Nevada. 12:26 to play in the game. Jesse Felker and Plummer in the backfield. Plummer takes the snap right side. She'll wait for this one to develop, and she does. Cuts upfield and gets the first down. Masterful running from Plummer. Flag on the field.
And another injury timeout.
So another player on the turf. Trainers are there. Holding on the Storm. They lead it by 10. The Anarchy trying to get the ball back. They need to take advantage of this penalty. Somehow, some way, they need to wrap up, tackle, and prevent these Stars from ripping off 4 or 5, 10 yards per run. 12:06 officially. On the clock in the fourth quarter. You're watching the Division III WFA, the Women's Football Alliance Championship game from Marv K Stadium on the campus of the Colorado School of Mines. On the oldest football field west of the Mississippi. Second down now. And the Anarchy helping one of their teammates off the field, and we're ready to go again. Second down 11:54 to play in the game. Felker left side. Felker running hard, straight up, trying to strip the ball. Orlando, and now we got another injury. And that looks painful. Whatever happened to Paige Cox. And she is in obvious pain right now. At about the 29-yard line. Well, after that play, she was moving and in obvious pain. She was holding her stomach. Let's see what happens here. She may have got the wind knocked out of her, possibly. Try to see it again. It's hard to tell there. Oh, yeah, I think she landed on the running back and landed on the helmet, I believe. Man, knocked the wind out of her or hit her ribs. She is definitely in a lot of pain right now. 11:36 to go in this national championship game. She comes over right there, and all her weight comes down. Yeah, right in the sternum, I believe. It looked like it. Sternum or her ribs. But she's communicating with the medical staff here. In the WFA Division III National Championship game from Marv K Stadium in beautiful Golden, Colorado. Wow, she has played hard tonight, and they're going to take their time with her. Paige Cox played so hard in this championship game this evening for the Anarchy from Orlando. Cox once again over 20 tackles on the season. And you can see how she flies around on that defensive line. Plenty of speed. And just an aggressive player, and we hope that she is okay. With 11:35 to play in the game, and Nevada on third down. We'll hand it off to Plummer. Plummer has plenty of room here at the 20-yard line inside the 20. She will cut back, makes a move at the 5. Touchdown! Plummer! And that more than likely will put the icing on the cake for Nevada. However, still 11 minutes and 18 seconds to play in the game, and that's what happens. A great call right there. Nice handoff, all the flow going to the left. They come back, counter with Plummer right after a really difficult injury to watch, and kind of took the wind out of the sails of the Anarchy, and they strike with their superstar on that counter play for the touchdown. Felker and Edgen in the backfield, going for two. The lefty floats it up, and that one's picked off in the end zone. 11-18 once again to play in the game. 46-30. There's still time, but Orlando is going to have to work quickly and wisely And they're going to have to catch every ball that comes their way as they'll try to make a comeback here. But right now, Nevada leads it 46-30. After Plummer finds the end zone once again, and she has been really dominating tonight and putting on a show for all the fans here at Marv K Stadium. We're coming back in 1 minute with more action.
Set to kick off for the Storm. Number 80, Ashley Osborne.
Osborne set to kick it off. Duran back. And Koziara. Koziara, nice speed, nice move. Upfield to the 43-yard line. Have to work quickly and smartly here with the passing attack as Orlando tries to come back, 46-30. You're watching the Division III championship game, Women's Football Alliance, WFA, on WFAProFootball.com. Thanks a lot for watching. We have over 11 minutes of football to go, championship football for you here on the website. And glad that you joined us. We're having a blast. Hope you are as well. Orlando has had a few opportunities that they have let slip past them, but you just have to give credit to Nevada and their running attack out of the single wing. And the stars, Felker and Jasmine Plummer and Mo Edgen, Shannon Pede and Sarah Colangelo. And that offensive line, Nisha Washington, Kelly Carmen and Jessica Rauch. The center, Sonia Pita, check that, Sonia Pita. The guard, one of the guards, and Carrie Mackey, of course, and Krista Meeks. That offensive line has been outstanding. Candace Hunter now will try to be the star with 11 minutes to play. See if she can strike here late in the fourth quarter. Hunter gets out of the pressure at the 45-yard line. She can run. And a nice job picking up the first down. And inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. Hunter's impressive. When she avoids that pressure, the thing about her, she doesn't panic. She's a cool cucumber, as they say. Enjoyed talking to her before the game. She's definitely a quarterback. You can see how she handles the team and kind of leads the way here. She takes a look at the play. First down, 10:35. We'll see how she looks at the defense from Nevada. Steps up, has time, a little short pass, incomplete. Trying to get it to one of her stars once again. Bell. So it's second down. (46-30). Nevada in their blue uniforms with the gold numbers on defense. They lead it. Here's Hunter. Hunter will lob this one over. And really nice coverage They want the interference call, and they're going to get it. Bell wants it, and they're going to call it, it looks like, on Nisha Washington. And they were looking for it, working the officials before that play, and there's the interference. Good call.
That is a spot foul, automatic, first down.
First down for Orlando. Still life in the anarchy. Clock is stopped.
Of the Storm. First and 10 for Orlando.
Hunter. She needs to look off her receivers here. Nevada trying to keep everything in front of them. Hunter steps up, pressured. Rolls to the right. She's going to go deep to the end zone as a receiver. Touchdown! Oh my goodness! Turin again. What a throw and catch. These two playing pitch and catch in the backyard. Wow. How about this? Hunter steps up. Look at the pressure. Rolls right. Duran is there. Look at the coverage. And Duran. Man, they just know each other so well. You can see it. My goodness. What a night for Gabrielle Duran. See what happens on this extra point. Still plenty of time with 10-12. It's a 10-point lead. Here's the extra point. It's low, but it is good. And they cut the lead to 9. 9-point lead now. I spoke too soon, obviously.
Defense, 72. That is declined.
Offside on the defense, declined, of course, and the extra point is good. A nice kick for the extra point. We've got a 9-point lead now for the Storm from Nevada. Can Orlando somehow, some way tackle this team and prevent them from sustaining a drive, get the ball back, and then strike again, and then who knows from there? They need 6 points first, and then anything could happen from there. Right now, they've got to get a good kick and good coverage. They cannot allow Nevada to return this kick more than you would think, 10, 20 yards. And Plummer is back there along with Jesse Felker. And Hunter is set to kick it off. So we've got a game here. If you just tuned in, Orlando will not go away. Candace Hunter, who just threw an amazing touchdown again to Duran, kicks this one off. Plummer at the 26-yard line, and then Plummer at the 40-yard line. Got to wrap up the stiff arm. What a run, what a return inside the 50 to the 45-yard line. Plummer, huge return. 10:02 to go. It is all about the Orlando defense right now. And you saw the stiff arm from Plummer. She is tough to tackle. Such a great runner. Great balance, strength, and the vision. From the 45-yard line of Orlando, it's Nevada and the Storm in the single wing. Timeout. Orlando with 10:02 to go in this national championship game. Division III Women's Football Alliance on WFA ProFootball.com. We're coming back in 1 minute.
First and 10 for the Storm.
First and 10 for Nevada with 10:02 to go in the national championship game, Division III. Felker left side. Look at her follow her blocks and just effortlessly picks up about 7 yards.
Up the middle on the carry.
On that left side.
Down to the 38 yards.
Such a talented
Second down
leader and back.
for Nevada.
Excellent football player. How about those blockers up front? The lead blockers and the offensive line from Nevada. 9:28 to go. Second down, and that's what Orlando needs.
Fumble in the offensive backfield.
After the snap,
Covered by Nevada.
the Storm couldn't come up with it. It was Etjen. Mo Etjen threw her hands.
To the 44.
Boy, that is one of those breaks that Orlando needs right now. Just to get a mild sputter out of Nevada. So it's third down now and 9 with 8:48 to go. Felker and Plummer. Plummer takes the snap left side. Plummer gets outside and picks up some more yards and the first down. Oh, that is devastating. What a run by Plummer. Look at this effort at the end of this run. She gets the edge, gets outside, missed tackle, and up ahead for the first down. That is some big time running. It's hard to win a game when you can't make that tackle on a great player like that in the backfield. Made a little move inside, and then with the speed and quickness outside to get the first down. Felker, another big gain. They're trying to strip the ball.
Felker out to carry.
Felker's not having it. Treva Mason tried to strip it. And a first down for the Nevada Storm.
Not before picking up a first down. Ball at the 21.
She is racking up the yards for this steamrolling offense from Reno. 7:55 to play in the national championship game, Division III. Felker and Plummer. Plummer hesitates. Look at her. Sneaky, shifty, patient once again. Little tippy toes.
Inside the 15.
And then explodes
Tackled by number 40.
for a gain of about 6 yards.
Ball spotted at the 15.
And you can feel it now. The Nevada Storm behind their offensive line once again. Washington, Carmen, Rauch, Peta, Mackey, and Meeks. And these lead blockers. Felker, right side. Has a lane to run through again. 3 nice blocks.
Inside the 10.
Follows the blocks
Down to the 7.
and picks up the first down.
Enough yardage for a Storm first down.
6:50
Goal for Nevada.
to play in the national championship game. And Nevada in a great position now to find the end zone once again. And they don't want to celebrate too early, but right now, plenty of confidence. They need to score here so they can feel a little better about this situation. A little counter reverse, and they're going to
On the reverse.
call the horse collar on Plummer. Plummer was tackled there, and they'll call it on Mason, I believe, or a face mask. I'm not sure if she got the face mask. A little horse collar tackle, I'm sure.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So it is a
number
face
40.
mask.
After this
Personal
is
foul. I'll tell you this much.
touchdown.
That Treva Mason gets after it. Reaching out, diving to try to make that tackle. And Plummer, thankfully, she's okay. But a personal foul. From the 2-yard line now, it is 1st and goal for the Storm from Nevada. Plummer and Felker in the backfield. And
Flags before the snap.
move that one up to about the 1-yard line. Now they call the false start on Nevada. You're watching the WFA Division III National Championship game. Don't forget tomorrow, right here on WFAProFootball.com at 12 noon Mountain Time, we have the Division II game between Detroit and St. Louis. Then at 3, the All-American game. Now that's 3 o'clock Mountain Time. That's 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central. And on the West Coast, it's 2 o'clock.
Ball will move outside.
So tomorrow's Division II game, 12 o'clock Mountain,
Still first down.
1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern. So all you fans in Detroit and St. Louis, we'll talk to you tomorrow for the Division II championship game. Felker, and here's Plummer. Plummer takes a snap right up the middle and follows her, blocks into the end zone. Touchdown. You need a signal from the official, but it is indeed a touchdown. Plummer, look at the blocks, the lead blocks up here. And Felker, one of those, a nice block. And we've talked about the offensive line, and they have done an outstanding job this evening here at Campbell Field, Marv K Stadium, campus of the Colorado School of Mines in Golden, Colorado. Felker. Here's the lefty. Edgin. Edgin strikes again.
Pass is complete.
Ashley Osborne on the other end of that reception for 2 points.
Nevada 54.
And fun to watch the lefty strike again. So the Nevada Storm under Chris Garza and Adam Barrett, 2 good friends in this coaching staff. So productive. From Reno, 2 Texas guys, Garza and Barrett, making their way to Reno, Nevada to help build this program, and they've done an outstanding job, as you can see it, with this single wing. All we see now, for the most part, in high school football, college football, a lot in the NFL is spread offense, and then when you have a single wing, it's fun to watch it. Old school football, great blocks up front, and excellent running from the backs from the Nevada Storm. Looking up their record, 10-1, and win the national championship. And Orlando still trying to win their 2nd straight national championship tonight, but time is running out. And Duran knocked out of bounds. Rhonda Knupp, the wing and also defensive end. And she has seen it all in this league, the savvy veteran. Looks like an 18-year-old out there, and well, I don't know. She may be closer to my age. That is outstanding. You could see how her teammates were so excited for her to make that tackle. And rounded up with a big hit. She actually saw the logo and WFA and the Nevada Storm on a bumper sticker and was interested in playing, and that's how she found out about the league. And she's made her way onto the team and waving at the fans here, and they're obviously excited for her to make that tackle. Rebecca Bodley was on the field, and she is okay to the sideline for Nevada. 5:16 to go in the Division III National Championship Women's Football Alliance. Hunter unloads, and it's almost picked off by, you guessed it, Plummer. And Plummer almost took that thing, picked it off, and could have taken it to the house. Just an all-around quality football player, Plummer. 5:11 on the clock officially, 54-37. Hunter with a couple of receivers to the right, 3 to the left. Can't wait. Women's Football Alliance action continues tomorrow. St. Louis and Detroit, Division II. This one short. Incomplete. Koziara can't make the catch.
Third down and 10.
Bring up third down. .505 to play. They're starting to celebrate. The sideline from Nevada, that one complete. Great concentration.
Pass complete. Sydney Lonick with the reception to the 35. Gavin.
Colangelo comes up and makes the tackle.
Fourth down and 2.
Sydney Blahnik with that reception. 2 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, 1 o'clock Central, noon here Mountain Time tomorrow for the Division II National Championship game between Detroit and St. Louis tomorrow on WFAProFootball.com. Fourth down for Hunter. Hunter looks back to her right, trying to avoid the pressure. Rolling out, squares her shoulders and broken up. Big time play from Osborne. And we've got a flag on the field. It's getting a little chippy out there right now. Lindsay Smiley up and then off to the sidelines. 4:09 to play in the national championship game. Thanks a lot for watching. We appreciate you tuning in and supporting Women's Football Alliance.
There is no foul on the play. The result of the play is a first down for the defense.
So no foul. First down for the defense. So what a night it's been for the Storm. Even though Orlando had their opportunities, tried to come back, and honestly scared Nevada 2 or 3 times. And it looked like the momentum was swinging. But Nevada was able to fend off the anarchy in the end. With 4:09 to play now, they're going to start celebrating in Reno, as this is an impressive organization and team from Nevada. The running attack and just sheer physical threat up front, especially, and then with great backs like this, carrying the load and thrown to the ground. Treva Mason throws Felker to the ground, but Felker has been outstanding along with Plummer in that backfield in the single wing.
Second down and 7.
And the clock continues to tick as Chris Garza, in his 3rd season, will become a national championship coach here in Golden tonight in this Division III championship.
Flags before the snap.
And Crystal Holmes has done an outstanding job as well as the head coach from Orlando and the Anarchy. False start. 3:21 to go. If you're in Colorado, come on out to Marv K Stadium in Golden. You know where the Coors plant is. Just west of there on the campus of the Colorado School of Mines. Come and enjoy the 3 games tomorrow, beginning at 12 noon Mountain Time. Plummer, right side and wrapped up. Clock continues to tick. And the Nevada Storm will up their record to 10-1. And we'll celebrate tonight and the rest of the offseason as the national champions in Division III WFA. If you've never seen a WFA game in person, I think you'll be very impressed. It's a great quality of football. It's a blast to watch, and we marvel every time we watch it. I mean, it is fun to watch. Felker. These are just natural athletes that know how to play the game, and a lot of them hadn't played until they reached their 20s. As we talked about earlier, you know, some had played high school football here and there. A lot of them are softball players, basketball players, ballet dancers. Some of them hadn't been involved in sports at all. And this has been a great outlet for them, and they love it. Obviously, they're passionate about the game. 1:30 to go in the national championship. Plummer, right side. Plummer trying to bounce out. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Plummer. Jasmine Plummer finds the end zone again for the Storm. Few of the fans yelling, "Get out of bounds." She's just playing. I mean, this is a national championship game, professional football in Division III, and you got to play your hearts out, and that's what they're doing. I mean, there aren't a lot of players in uniform, honestly. You have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 players suited up for the Storm, and fewer for Orlando. And into the end zone is Edgin. Edgin Moe cuts back and into the end zone with 1:13 to go. It's 60-37 in the national championship in Division III women's football, the Women's Football Alliance. We're coming back in 1 minute for the conclusion of this national championship game.
Set to kick off for the Storm, number 80, Ashley Osborne.
Osborne ready to kick it off for the Storm, who will soon be crowned as the national champions in Division III Women's Football Alliance action. Here's a kick at about the 43-44 yard line. And a stiff arm there. Treva Mason, this is when players get hurt. A lot of paybacks going on in this one.
44.
Got to finish it out strong here. We have another injury on the field. Unfortunately. So a lot of frustration, obviously, on Orlando's side. Back on her feet. And we talked about it earlier. Rhonda Knupp is up, and that's good to see. She is a baller, man. Just goes out and fights every week in the WFA. Love that story. Find out about women's football on a bumper sticker. We love bumper stickers, don't we? Candace Hunter back to pass. 1:03 to go, and she is pressured, hit hard, and on the ground after Krista Meeks comes in
Second down.
and delivers a
The
blow.
ball at the 44.
Well, they haven't stopped hitting each other. There's no doubt about that. Great job by Damon Blick tonight on camera one. And Mike Harity producing and directing. Localized Media, LOCLYZ.com. We'll be back tomorrow. 3 games. Here's Hunter. Hunter. There's a pass complete. At about the 45, 40-yard line. Look at the speed. Cutting back, still on her feet. And on her way to the end zone. 10-5. Touchdown. Koziara.
Touchdown.
Brittany Koziara. And you can see how she can fly. Man. Beautiful play after the catch and into the end zone. Look at this. Splits the defense. See ya. Goodbye. Nice block right there. Stretching out into the end zone. No quit in Koziara. She had some big plays tonight as well. She had one that she knows she should have had. Would have taken it to the house early in the game, but she did more good than bad tonight. The Anarchy will drop to 9-2, and Nevada will up their record to 10-1. And they'll be the national champions, even though Hunter finds another receiver in the corner of the end zone for 2.
42 seconds remain in this
42 seconds to go.
Division III National Championship. It's Nevada 62, Orlando 45.
So Bell with another reception. And credit to all these athletes out here on this field and coaches from both teams and organizations and the management from all these teams do an outstanding job putting it all together. And they'll do the same tomorrow with St. Louis and Detroit, and they're fired up. Those teams from St. Louis and Detroit getting ready for tomorrow's early game in the Division II National Championship. Then the All-American game, and that Division I game is going to be fun as well on ESPN 3. Candace Hunter been busy tonight. She will kick it off. And Plummer is back to, I would imagine, try to take as much time off the clock as possible. (62-45), and Orlando's going to try to get the ball again. Trying to get one last opportunity, but we'll see. So they kick it. Nice kick over the head of Plummer.
Ball is through the end zone for a touchback.
So we have another flag on the field. This is when the flow and the rhythm goes right down the drain. So you call on Plummer to make a big run. And with 42 seconds to go, Plummer will walk off to the sidelines, and she has been incredible. So a penalty on the kicking team. 15 yards. Personal foul. I believe it was a personal foul. So 62-45. And Nevada try to run the time off the clock here. And plenty of hugs and celebration going on the sideline of the Nevada Storm, as Coach Chris Garza and his staff will celebrate with his team tonight as the Division III national champions in the Women's Football Alliance.
Quarterback takes it in.
And that should be it.
Loss of a yard on the play.
I think the officials are going to let this one tick down.
2nd and 11 for the Storm.
And that will do it. The Nevada Storm up the record to 10-1 and are the Division III Women's Football Alliance national champions after a 62-45 victory over the Orlando Anarchy. Crystal Holmes' team drops to 9-2, and what a season it's been for them. They've had to play up, of course, every week, and that aerial attack is very impressive. But tonight, they're up against a very physical and talented running game from Reno, Nevada. And the Storm are your Division III WFA champions in 2019. Thanks to everyone involved in tonight's live stream. Thank you for watching. Thanks to Mike Harity and Damon Blick tonight. And we will be back tomorrow at 12 noon for the Division II National Championship game here at Colorado School of Mines in Golden, Colorado. Until then, I'm Blake Olson. Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.